Well, we talk often about training dogs to be well behaved, but today's kind of a spin on that idea. We're talking about how, as humans, we can be better pet owners, especially when in public, in a lesson on petiquette, if you will. And we're happy to welcome back Catherine Newman back to the studio with a new friend, Ozzy.
This is Ozzy. He's a recent graduate of our board and train program.
He's so calm and cool. And I don't know what it is. We have a blue floor here in the studio, like the part where all the cameras slide around. Most dogs are terrified of the blue floor.
Oh yes, I've had experience with that.
What's up with that? Is it because it's slippery or because it looks like water? It's like, what is this?
I think all of the above.
Yeah.
All of the above.
I was scared of the blue floor at first too.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about petiquette.
Yep.
What's your first suggestion for dog owners when they're going out to events, farmers markets, walks on the hiking trail, etc.?
First of all, to be considerate and to recognize that, especially in a lot of these merchants that we're allowed to go into today, whether it's Bachman's or Ace Hardware, or a lot of these small businesses that welcome dogs, be considerate and be responsible. Well, first of all, let's take our dog potty and make sure that they've voided before they go inside.
You don't want to drop it off in the middle of Shields.
Perfect. That's a great way to phrase it. I love it.
Sorry to say it that way, but that's what we're talking about.
You did and I didn't, but yes, fantastic. So the other thing is gain control before you go inside. It's one thing if you're taking a 7, 8, 9, 12-week puppy in for socialization, but if you're taking a 2-year-old dog like Ozzy in, you should have some semblance of control. Make them behave in the store and recognize that there might be other dogs there, so don't let them lead out in front and then we have an unexpected greeting with another untrained dog, and now we have an episode in there. So
do you shorten the leash? Do you gain?
Heel. Yeah.
You heel, and that's a standard in the store.
We heel and we sit, or at least a controlled walk. Make sure our dog is under control.
Hi, Ozzy.
The other thing is that when we enter these facilities is to make sure that we recognize that they are there to do business. So if you take a look at this next video coming up, Ozzy and I are doing some training around some Yeti coolers, and we're practicing on sit stays, and it's at the hardware store right when you come in. So a great place to do sit stays with Ozzy to proof those, because we've got guests or customers coming and going. But now we have Ed and a customer coming up to look at Yetis. My job is to get out of the way, let them do their commerce. And then I always make a point to buy something, whether it's light bulbs or paper toweling or a small plant. Because again, you know, these stores are in business to do business. So we want to say thank you, because being able to bring our dogs is a privilege. It's not an entitlement.
Okay, so how important is positive reinforcement versus negative reinforcement? You know, it's the difference between a good dog owner and a bad owner. It's like, you can see the out of control dog and it's not the dog's fault.
Yeah, so
how often do you give the treats, how often and why?
We give a lot of treats in the beginning when we are teaching or shaping a new skill, but at some point in time we need to enforce our commands. Otherwise, we're going to run into a situation where our doggy says, hey, that squirrel or that kid or that other dog is more exciting than your treats. So as a trainer, you really need to have a balanced approach, very similar to children.
Okay, so what about trail walking, right? This is another thing too, where you never know what you're gonna get. And it's sort of, again, on you as the owner to be responsible in this regard.
Correct, and so we have a great video coming up to show what not to do and what to do. So here I am with Ozzy, who's had hours and hours of training. And here comes along someone who's super distracted and he's on his cell phone and his dog is out in front. And the only two things that are missing are a flexi lead and a cup of Starbucks coffee. And he lets his dog rush up to Ozzy. Now, here's the thing. When you're out with your dog and you encounter another dog, you don't know, is that dog reactive around other dogs? Is he fearful? Maybe he was under-socialized. Maybe he's a rescue. And when you allow your dog to rush up to another dog like this, you are undermining their training, and you could set that dog back months, if not a year.
And it creates a tension that is dangerous.
Yes,
I've been guilty of that too with our pup when we had our dog. I mean, there's that initial reaction. How do you fight against that though? Is it a matter of getting him to sit and stay while the other dog passes, or what's the training?
Well, first of all, restrain your dog. So if you have to, even if your dog isn't fully trained, short leash them, and then give space. Recognize, be aware of your surroundings. Don't be on your cell phone. Look around. If you can see that I've got my dog tight by my side and he's in heel position, dogs aren't born that way. They're trained to do that. So recognize there's a lot of training that went into this. And about 20 years ago, there was this movement that went through the dog world, and it never really caught on, and I really wish it did. It was you'd put a yellow ribbon on your leash. And that would signify to other dog owners that, hey, I don't want you to approach my dog. Maybe my
All right, it's a
dog is
warning sign.
reactive.
Sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
And-
hashtag yellow ribbon.
and I would love to see that come back.
All right, good deal.
Because it really signifies, hey, I put a lot of effort
Caution.
into my dog. Yeah.
Caution.
Yep.
Leave us alone.
Yep.
Respectfully.
Yep.
Thank
And
you,
then-
Catherine.
You're
one more
welcome.
quick? What?
Real quick. I just want to give a shout out to Deb Lindahl, our photo journalist.
Yeah, she's the best.
Who always does a great job with our photo shoots.
Good
So,
for you. I agree
yeah.
wholeheartedly. Way to go,
Yep.
Deb. Thanks for those videos, too. Hey, all Catherine's advice about good pet etiquette is on care11.com, along with a link to Augusta Dog Training. Thanks, Catherine.